get our cum crystals ready.
Our penis is hard.
It's hard as fuck. Welcome back to Are We the Assholes? I am your host, Tyler, and I'm here joined by
Brandle,
the other co-host. Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure. We'll go with other co-hosts. We'll go with that one.
Yeah. I mean, would you like me to call you something else? Like,
you can call me
other
bitch,
host,
I guess.
Oh, the bitch.
Yeah,
okay.
Shit.
I'm joined here with my bitch, Brandle. He's my main bitch.
Saying it from your mouth made it so much funnier in my head. But
right.
Anyway.
Oh God. Okay. To those that have been listening and have been on this journey with us, if anyone's been commenting on the past videos, know that we're only going to start responding to those in like 6 more episodes from now, because that's when we'll actually start posting and start seeing all that shit. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Tyler, are you dying on me there?
I have been a little sick.
Oh,
yeah.
How are you gonna get sick when you got your fucking
the newborn? Yeah, no,
asshole. I'm just kidding.
I felt so bad for my wife. It's been so hard on her.
Oh,
like, oh
really?
My God. Yeah. Like, well, she's trying to play it up and be like, super boss mom, just like, I got this. But I'm just like,
hard.
I'm literally useless right now. Like, because I've had to quarantine myself from them too, to make sure the baby doesn't get sick. So.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, because we don't want her to get RSV. So that's the big fear.
That's hard, especially with
I'm about to come down now, so I'm not
good.
Infectious, and it wasn't RSV. It was just a common cold, but
okay,
still not fun.
Well, good.
Yes. Anyways, let's go ahead
to answer your question. Answer your question, we are the assholes.
Yes, yeah, that is. We are the assholes, and we have opinions, like everyone else. So let's go ahead and give our opinion on story number 1. Am I the asshole for expecting my husband to be home every night that we have his kids, my stepkids, at home? Brandle, actually, do you want to read today? Since my throat is like gone.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta find it. Yeah, I was gonna just say that here.
Yeah, I'll just cut this part.
Where did you put it? Oh,
it should be the one above. Imagine. Also, this looks like a good one in the messages.
Yeah. I was meaning like the
the Hard Homies chat.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay, bear with me because I'm not the greatest reader, but that's all right.
You got this.
Okay, am I the asshole for expecting my husband to be home every night that we have the kids, my stepkids, at home? Okay. Hold on, I gotta make this bigger because I used the fucking TV here.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. My husband has 2 kids from his previous marriage, both boys, 12 and 14. They are sweet kids, but they are teenage boys. They're wild. They tend to get into fights. They're messy, and listening is not their best life skill at this stage of brain development. I do not have biological kids of my own. I met these kids when we started dating about 4 years ago, and we've all lived together for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
Long story, but we moved last summer about 60 miles from our old home. The move was because the boys' biological mom got remarried to a guy who lived in a different part of the state. To avoid the kids bearing the brunt of the commute, we agreed to move. My husband still commutes to work, and I work from home full time. We have 50-50 custody of the kids. During the school year, we never have the kids on Monday or Tuesday nights. My husband enjoys playing in low-stakes bar poker games, so he generally does that on Monday and Tuesdays. It's a very long drive to the venue where he plays, So he stays with friends near our old house on those nights and doesn't come home. Not my favorite arrangement, but I go out of my way to ensure he feels like he has the autonomy to enjoy his hobbies, something he definitely didn't in his first marriage. Well, that's considerate.
Yeah, I know, you consider it, and I wondered kind of why he wasn't allowed to. So,
yeah, right.
yeah.
The issue has come up in regards to our summer custody schedule, which switches to the week on one to 1 week on to 1 week off from the normal school year schedule. It recently came out in the conversation that he expected to still play his poker game on Tuesday nights during the summer, and that he was fully planning on staying with friends and not coming home from those nights. It's always been our understanding and agreement that he would be home in any night we have the boys here. When I brought this up, he told me he didn't think it was a big deal to not be home one night a week and expect me to handle everything on those nights.
Oh, God. Okay.
Well, but that was just for one night.
Yeah, but it sounds like... Yeah, keep going. Let's
Yeah. Okay, because you already like pre-read this anyway, didn't you?
Yeah, for the most part.
That's all right, because I am super uncomfortable being here with them alone. They make me anxious. I hate when they fight, and I don't think it's my place as a step-parent to discipline them. Well, there's a time and place for it, but it also depends.
Yeah.
If they were kids who just read books and sat in silence all night, I might feel differently. But there's always a greater than 0% chance that someone's literally not throwing punches. Wow. I have no interest in being solely in charge of the situation. I already am the default parent for laundry, school pickup, scheduling meals, and primary caretaker anytime during the school breaks since I work from home. I have clearly communicated to my husband how I feel about being here alone with them, so he is aware. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Beyond how it impacts me, I don't think it's a great example for the kids either. It's not like my husband is on work trips. It's like, hey, Dad would rather play poker than be here with you. I just feel like part of being the parent oh my God. I just feel like part of being a parent is you have to plan your life around the kid stuff. Yes, but there's a give and take for all that too.
Yeah.
My husband already has it easier than most of the joint custody, and the fact that I'm happy to sacrifice some of the few days we have alone for the two of us so that we could pursue this hobby. Yeah, but you got to make time for each other to to serve it to me straight. Am I the asshole here? My husband is making me feel like I am. But I just feel like this is me making a reasonable ask and trying to set a very legitimate boundary. That's interesting. Do you have any quick thoughts before I already drill into this here, Tyler?
Yeah, I feel like you and I might have similar takes on this, because I feel like there is some give and take. Like, adults need to be able to have hobbies and do stuff on their own. But if it's like only during the summer that you have to just sacrifice one week essentially of not doing that hobby, that's not a big deal to me. And if that like was for me to be able to see my kids when I don't get to see them every day, I would do that personally.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you don't have the opportunity to see the kids every day. Take your time, because you're going to have time elsewhere to do that.
Exactly. You know, your buddies and your poker or whatever does not matter nearly as much as your kids. So
yes, correct.
And with like how rowdy it sounds like they are, if I was their step parent, I'd also kind of be like, I don't know how to manage your shit.
Well, it's a little different too, because they're older. They're probably not going to be listening to the stepmom anyway. And so trying to discipline them is not going to help. And so it needs to come from, in this case, the father.
Yeah. And it sounds like she's known them for about 4 years and been actively living with them together for about 2.5. So they were dating for what, like a year and a half? And then and got married, I'm guessing. So.
And even then, it's hard when the original parent, because it sounds like the kids they're 50-50, so they're seeing the actual mother. And so she probably feels like she doesn't have the right to say or discipline them in this manner, you know? And I can understand that.
Yeah. And okay, the top comment here from user Soggy Beach 1495. Yeah. Back when this was happening to my brother and I, right? There was no 50-50 custody. So maybe people just view it different now. But for us, if we would go to my dad's house for a weekend and he wasn't available, we'd be wondering why the fuck we were there. To hang out with our stepmom, who we really didn't get along with anyway, when we could have been home instead with our stuff and our friends. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, if I was his kids, that's how I'd feel too. I know a couple times when my dad did take my brothers and I while they were divorced. There's a few times where he would just straight up leave and like go and I don't know, like, well, I have an idea as to what he was doing, but don't need to go over that now. But like, usually he was like living with some other girl that was like a friend, but like he wasn't dating. And so we would just stay there and like watch movies while he was gone. And like,
you just be there.
I just be there. And so I usually have to like make sure my little brothers were good. And like,
yeah, that's hard.
It was like, what's the point, man? Like, why do you even want us here? Like,
because we don't have the context of this either. Like, how is the living situation with the mom? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like how good of a dad is he? In the comments, she seems to kind of paint him in a little bit worse light, which I'm like, because a lot of people are kind of validating her here and just being like, hey, you're just a bang maid. And she's like, yeah, I'm totally feeling like a bang maid. Like, you know, and so like there's a lot of like echo chamber going on here, which can lead to I feel like when you're already feeling kind of pent up anger about something, if you have enough people telling you, hey, you need to be mad, you need to be bad, mad gets triggered too many times and you start getting way angrier than you should be. Like, and blowing up the situation even more.
What you're feeling.
Yeah. And so you have too many people doing that. And that's what the Reddit is the worst for, is too many people can either invalidate you or validate an emotion and blow something that was maybe a little smaller than it would have been had you not posted. And so, but there are times it's like, but sometimes it is good to kind of like put a magnifying glass to something and be like, hey, like, is this guy, does he treat you like this all the time? Does he just sort of like expect you to do stuff, or
to have a different set of eyes, to have a broader outlook, right? You know?
Yeah.
That way, because you get, most people, especially me, you just get in your own head about things that are going wrong and you spiral, and it just makes it feel probably 10 times worse than it actually is, even if in this situation there's no specific things and it feels like she's just drilling one thing, but there's probably other things at play here.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like she's good with the hobby for the most part. Like, you know, when she doesn't have to watch kids.
Yeah, and it has no problem with it, but I feel like there's stuff not being said that they're having issues, or maybe
it seems like this might be a symptom of a bigger problem, which is either like she feels like she's already parenting the kids too much in the relationship already, and like doesn't really like know how to, and doesn't feel like it's her place to, when really he should be the one doing it, which I can agree with. I'm sorry, this is like armchair psychology, but oh god, yeah. Sorry if you guys can't tell, I'm a little sick. My voice is shot to shit. So, but yeah, no,
it just said that for recording. By the way, tonight you didn't have to agree. I'm just saying.
Hey, no, it's all good, man. I need to get. I need to do something. I was losing my mind.
Yeah, that's fair. I know we've been trying to get more of these out anyway, but go ahead, continue with what you were saying there.
Yeah, I you know, armchair psychology aside, this just feels like you're bugged, not just about the fact that he's okay with, leaving you alone with the kids for one night. You're bugged that he's not being a good father and wanting to spend time with his kids. And so that it feels like that is happening outside of just this one night too. So not the asshole, but you definitely need to have a good conversation with your husband.
Yes.
And like set firmer boundaries. You need to have like really firm boundaries on like what is and isn't okay to do. Because like you're not their mom, right?
Exactly. And he has the time to be there for his kids.
Yeah.
And plenty of time to go fucking do poker, or anything else for that hobby. And there should be consideration for them as a couple as well. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. And yeah, no, I mean, she talks about that too. It's like, so he's not even like, she's already sacrificing the few times that, that they have alone essentially.
Yeah.
And so, sounds like it's hard enough already for her.
But agreed, she is not the asshole.
Yeah, no, definitely not the asshole. The husband needs to step up and, start being a dad to his boys and realize that your hobbies don't come first. Your kids come first.
Always,
so,
always.
I get needing to have a break every now and then, but not every week. You don't need a break every week from being a parent. For an entire night. That's crazy.
Well, if it's something they talked about, and every once in a while, sure, maybe, I guess. But like you said, your kids always come first. You decided to fucking bring them into this world, whether that was you wanted to keep them or not. They're here. That's your responsibility.
Agreed. Well, I think that wraps up that story. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I already got it open, homie.
Sick.
Ready. So, am I the asshole for walking out of my own birthday dinner after my fiance's little surprise? This seems interesting. So, it's a little short one too.
Yeah.
So last night was my 28th birthday. That makes me feel old. I'm going to be 27.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, so last night was my 28th birthday. My fiance Brian planned the surprise dinner at a really nice restaurant with my friends and some of my family. I'm not huge on big attention, but I thought it was okay. Maybe he's doing something thoughtful for once. Dinner's going fine, food's good, I'm chilling, and then right before the dessert, Brian stands up and starts doing this whole speech about how proud he is of me and how he got me a gift that'll change my life. Then he said he paid off my student loans. At first I was in shock. I actually teared up. Everyone clapped. My mom was crying. I was about to stand up and hug him. Then he has that he only paid off half of it and that the other half is on me because he wants me to learn how to be financially responsible and not rely on other people to fix my problems. Like, what?
Wow.
He basically turned my birthday into a public lecture. People were laughing at me like it was some cute life lesson. My cousins were like, damn, that's tough love. I just sat there frozen, then stood up, took my purse, walked right out. He came running after me like, what's wrong? He was trying to be helpful and didn't mean to upset me. I told him he's embarrassed me, used my debt to make a point in front of everyone, and I wasn't in the mood to be someone's teachable moment. Now, after a few people were saying I overreacted and he meant well, if you want to help, just help. Don't use it to humiliate me in front of 20 other people. Well, the thing I immediately have an issue with this is he stated off saying that he paid it off. If you said you had only paid off half and then just left it at that, I don't think there's no need for this teaching moment in the first place.
Definitely, dude. No, this is insane to me. Like, what the hell? To do something nice for your fiance, and then the fact that she said he's doing something thoughtful for once. So it sounds like he doesn't normally do thoughtful things ever.
That's literally the first comment in here.
Yeah. So like, I'm just shocked by how much of a dickbag move someone is able to turn this into being. Like, this sounds like financial abuse and like holding a bag of money essentially over someone and lauding it over them just to like control them. So I mean, I would be worried that that's where this is going. And
yes, exactly.
you know, like, it's like, dude, if you're gonna do that, number one, you're gonna have to be okay with spending that much money on someone. And like, if you want to teach them a financial lesson, instead of just paying it off and like claiming you did and then being like, actually no, I only paid off half of it, so that way she can learn how to be more financially responsible and not rely on other people to fix her problems. Like, no, you were just gonna go ahead and do it, which is super nice of you. But if you wanted to do that and like help her learn how to do that, there's other ways to go about it, where you can like talk to her privately. For number one, you don't do this in public. You'd be like, hey, you know, if you're having some issues with this is, you know, one way I've learned how to manage my money. You know, like, let's sit down, let's create a budget to, you know, help you figure out how you can turn this around and start paying it off faster. But you do that privately, and you do that not condescendingly, like in a genuine, hey, I want to be able to help you with this. Where like, let's, you know, work together and come up with some ways to help. So
yeah, because that whole thing about this already is just that whole second half didn't need to happen with him. You could have just said, even if it just started with, hey, I paid off half of it. I just wanted to let you know because I care about you. You know what I mean? And then kind demeanor that can be public. Maybe their family is close with each other in this regard, but like you had already stated, just sounds like it's just being held up over her head, you know, to financial abuse.
No, like, yeah, it really feels like a form of financial abuse. Oh man,
all the comments are just saying, "Fucking leave this guy."
Yeah, no, and this is one where I'd be like, yeah, you could just break off the engagement. Not worth it.
No,
at all.
There's already things in here saying like it's gonna get worse before it gets better, or if somehow you guys can sit down and talk about it, I guess. But I don't know. It just, this guy feels like he's full of himself.
No, 100%. By 28, like, really? Then again, she doesn't really say his age. At least I don't think she did. So
yeah.
So I don't know how old this dude is, but I'm assuming around the same age, if not maybe even a little older. So it'd be like, dude, get your shit together. Like, your brain is fully developed now. You have no excuse to be this much of a dick.
Amazing how hard that is for some people, huh?
Right? Goddamn. All right.
But she's not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
Okay, I got the next one ready to go here.
Sweet.
Oh, this is interesting. I said that for the last two too, but it said, "Am I the asshole for refusing to let my parents move in with us?" That's wild.
Yeah, I didn't read through this one. I'm starting to as you're reading. So
I, 38 male, have been married to my wife, 36 female, for almost 10 years. We bought our home a few years ago and have two kids, 6 and 4. Things have been going well, and we both work. We've made the house feel like our home, and we finally have a decent routine. Recently, my parents, mid-60s, announced that they're selling their house to simplify and asked if they could move in with us for a little while. They said it would just be until they figure out their next steps, maybe 6 to 12 months max. The problem is I know my parents. A little while could easily turn into forever. They don't get along with my wife that well. They have very different lifestyle habits, and they tend to be overbearing when it comes to our kids. They also don't believe in boundaries like at all. Okay. I scrolled down too far.
I'm Our
I
house.
lost my place here. Sorry. Yeah, our house is big. We'd
Isn't
lose
that
our
big?
only guest room and likely our sanity. That's probably the bigger issue there.
Mhm.
My wife is already anxious just thinking about it. I told him no. I tried to be gentle and said we just don't have the space and need to keep our home private. My mom acted like I slapped her. She cried, told me I was abandoning them in their old age, and said that she never thought her own son would turn his back on them. My dad didn't say much, but he clearly agrees with her. Not that they're giving me the cold shoulder, a few extended family members messaged me saying family comes first and I should step up. But I really don't think this would be healthy for everyone, not me, my wife, or kids, or even my parents. So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to let my parents move in with us?
No.
Jody.
Immediately, that's a no. Oh my
See,
gosh.
if you guys, say your family's in good standing, and you had already stated there 6 to 12 months max, one, you would have to uphold that. Otherwise, it's like being a kicked out situation. But it feels like they're just nipping it in the butt right away without, just to avoid all this, and I can understand where they're coming from.
No, I mean, and that's the best way to do it too. You have to just kind of be like immediately like, hey, no, that's not happening. Sorry. Like, you guys have a house and you want to simplify everything. Maybe their financial situation is like not great, and they have to sell their house just so because they can live off of that for their retirement or something for the next little bit. I don't know. But I would never burden my kids with mine and my wife's like, hey, we need to figure out where we're going to live for the next little bit. It's like, no, that's not their job, especially when they're adults. Like, hell no.
And they're 60 years old. Like, if they were needing to sell their house and simplify, there's a better way to do it rather than selling it off and not have another property ready, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. And so it's like again, if it is just simply just to simplify, then they can take 6 to 12 months to sell and figure out where the hell they're going to live after.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably going to take that long to sell anyway.
And if they needed to stay in for like a day or two, that wouldn't be a problem. But
or even
almost a year.
Yeah, I'd say like a month maybe. And like I'm saying like they have a luggage, a couple of stuff with them, and everything else is like in storage or ready to go to the next place. Like you're not
exactly
moving your shit in,
Yeah, 100% no. Oh my gosh.
I like this top comment from Garden Safe 8519. It says all those family first people need to offer up their homes. The original post is thinking of family first, his family, and it consists of him, his wife, and kids. He needs to account for his wife's comfort in her home since mom doesn't get along with the wife, and that's no one reason I would say no to moving in.
Agreed. Good on you, Garden Safe.
See, and I think about that a lot with my wife and my own daughter. Because Michaela's family is they're family centric, and but there's similar times when similar situations has come up this way, because I don't want to get quite into detail about it, but I can relate to this post. So
yeah, no, I mean, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. This is you have in-laws that are a bit too overbearing, and then they're trying to essentially kind of push into your life more than they need to be. And it's like, okay, come on, let's take a step back here. You don't need to be that involved in our lives, like, but it's like if my family did that, well, very different situation, obviously. I mean,
It depends on which family you're talking about here, Tyler.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm just not going to get into that either, really. But
Yeah, that's probably a smart move there.
that's the best. We don't. This doesn't need to be Tyler's. Come here, listen to Tyler trauma dump for an hour.
Well, that's not what I'm saying, though. It's
No,
just,
but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, but yours is also a very unique situation too. There's a lot
yeah,
of different family members that I can see you saying yes to. There's
Yeah.
other ones that absolutely not.
yeah. No, there would be that'd be a no go for a few of them. But then a good chunk, and like I wouldn't mind doing that for like aunts and cousins, and yeah, it'd just be. But like anybody that we have to have a boundary with, you know, or like, you know, there's a lack of trust there, then yeah, you can't let them live with you that long. So
no,
that's
happened similarly with one of my older brothers who lived with me. I don't know if I remember telling you about all that.
Yeah, no, you told. Yeah, no, yeah, you let me know.
And this was shortly before my daughter was born, and there was issues, and we had to kick him out.
Yeah, it's tough. Anyway. It's rough, dude. Yeah, shit, man.
It's harder to kick them out than to say no initially, and that's what I like about what this guy is saying, and that's why I don't think he's the asshole in this comment in this post either.
Yeah, no, because he's setting a firm boundary, and you gotta be. The fact that the mom is trying to like manipulate him too by like crying and just being like, I can't believe you would do this. And then people being like family first to him. And like, so obviously they're weaponizing other family members against him. It just screams of like manipulation and just this mom always trying to get her way with her son. But it's, and like the dad obviously is just like, silent and just is like gonna take his wife's side, and
yeah, that's what it feels like here.
Yeah, well, I mean, like what he's with basically based off of what he's saying, where the dad's just kind of whipped. Essentially, is what it sounds like. Yeah,
or
dad, or he's so old. He's like, I don't want to argue. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's like
he just probably just doesn't care. Like. Instead of like agreeing, I mean, I don't know, maybe because like the son could be reading into the dad's silence, yeah, in any different way. So
yeah, that's hard to decipher, but I can feel that from this post too. But yeah, Tyler, I should have started with this one before the last one.
I messed up really bad.
Yeah, this is gonna be a quick one.
This will be quick, but no. I think this will, because I feel like I did read this. The conversation we're about to have will last a while. So.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
I do.
Oh, well, sure. Okay. I let me just read this here. Anyway, to consensus for the last one is not the asshole.
Yeah, not the asshole.
Okay, so this one, it says I messed up really bad. From difficult editor 6726. I never understood people putting fucking numbers at the end of their name. I understand it's probably not available, but I usually go with for something else. But anyway, that's my quick hot take there. I know I fucked up really bad this time, and I don't know if there's anything I can do. I'm 21 male. Well, this is a good start. And I've been with my girlfriend for almost 5 years. The other day, I gave her my login to my email because she needed it for something, and today I got an email notification from OnlyFans. Well, my girlfriend looks and sees that I've subscribed to maybe 3/4 girls over the span of our relationship, and understandably, she's pissed. Any advice?
I know.
Well, man, it depends on who you're with, I guess. But it sounds like this guy has an addiction, you know.
Yeah, I mean, having 3 to 4 OF subscriptions. Okay. I'm going to preface this with stating I have never legitimately used OnlyFans. The only time I ever did anything with OnlyFans was when Markiplier uploaded his nudie photos.
Oh, that's right. I remember
Yeah.
that. I was part of that too. But
That is the only time I have ever really used OnlyFans, was just for that. So there might be something I'm missing, because I read through a lot of these comments.
okay.
And people are like, "You broke her trust. Like you need to delete them. Like, this is horrible. You need to own and lay in this now." Like, and I'm like, isn't it just fucking porn? Like,
yeah. I know some of them you can sit there and talk to them or whatever. Right?
yeah, but it's not real. It's like a fantasy, right? Like, it's just like
Yes.
fantasy play. You're not meeting up with these chicks and like fucking them. So
and in the content creators' eyes, that's all it is to them. They're just making money off of said person, and that's about as far as it goes in most cases.
yeah, I mean, that's what I would assume. So and so this got me thinking, like, I guess it would be fine if it was like free porn, and like, what if he felt like for his part of the fantasy he needed to like comment or like kind of engage in the fantasy a bit, some people like role play. And so I guess I'm just not seeing what the big deal is here, but like literally every comment is just like, "You're awful, don't use OnlyFans, like, you are cheating." And I'm like, what? Like, there's something I'm missing here.
Maybe it's also the fucker is 21 years old, and it's just things are more sensitive in this kind of conversation. Because now, if his girlfriend is really pissed off, and this is the boundary that they need to talk about and set, and I don't know if he was necessarily hiding it from her, maybe subconsciously, but if she's not okay with it, then, and you still want to be with this girl, maybe drop it. But
every guy is brought up to hide their porn, dude. Like, you're raised to hide your porn watching. Like, you can just be like honest from the get. Like, I was honest with my wife from the get go. I was like, "Hey, like, you're cool if like I jack off and like watch porn, right? Like, you're not gonna be psycho about that." And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, like, yeah, no, that's like not a problem." And so
that's the normal part of it. But if because obviously there is like porn addiction and all that, because how obsessively is this guy doing it? You know what I mean? Is he on it every day with the same 3 or 4 girls, or the same one girl a day, whatever? Is he obsessively doing it?
Oh yeah, actually no. I'm gonna call my wife, because I'm curious to see what her position is on this.
Okay,
so I want to know if like.
Good, cool. I would love, because I feel like maybe we're not in the spot to really comment on this.
Yeah, I know, because like, yeah, no, you and I are definitely. I thought we were gonna engage in this a bit more, where I'm like, okay, like maybe you have a different stance than I do, but it sounds like we have the same stance. It's just porn. Like, who cares? Like, so okay, I'm gonna talk to my wife. Hey, babe. Important question for you. So Brandle and I are talking about this guy, this 21-year-old guy. He is in the hot water because his girlfriend found out that he's subscribed to like 3 to 4 girls on OnlyFans. And I just want to know, like, it's like you and I are cool with each other looking at porn, but is OnlyFans and like a parasocial like fantasy role play different? Like, would you consider that to be cheating?
Where you're paying for that sort of thing, in the sense of like I don't know. I think paying for it's different, but then because I feel like that adds a level of like kind of what you were saying, like a parasocialness to it.
Yeah.
Where I don't know how to explain it. Where it's just like I wouldn't view it as like the best thing in the world. It would I guess if it came out like you were paying for someone, like that would be different because it's like, oh, that's not just something where it's like you're watching just to get like your rocks off or just to have like a little bit of a fantasy, but it adds kind of like more like a personal touch or something to it, where it's just like, okay, well, what about her is good enough that like you're gonna pay?
Yeah. Oh, I get that. Yeah. Do you think if the guy was like hiding it, you know, or I guess like maybe not even necessarily hiding it, but like just never thought to bring it up, and like then you found out
Dating or
they're dating? Yeah. Don't know. They don't go that deep.
things where it's not shared finances and like he does his own thing and he does his own thing, then that's different. But if it's one of those things where it's like shared finances, like they live together and they have to budget and everything together, I feel like that is something that is kind of more of a conversation piece. But if it's something where it's like my money's my money, your money's your money, then it's not necessarily something that would like, if he necessarily was hiding it, but wasn't like, oh yeah, like I'm doing this. Like I feel like that's kind of different.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So, and yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, I've read it for the most part is like telling this guy that he needs to like take responsibility, apologize, try to gain back her trust. Like you're cheating. People are saying like you're like horrible for doing this. Like, dude, that's gross. Like everyone's like shaming this dude.
I explicitly said like, hey, this is kind of like my limit of like, I don't care if you do this, like I don't want you paying for it. And if he went ahead and did it, then I could see where it's like, hey, that's kind of like shitty behavior. But it's like also one of those things of it's like maybe a conversation has to happen first.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I feel like this is just a conversation. So like, I agree with you. This is just something like talk about it. Yeah, no.
Figure out where your boundaries are.
No, yeah. And that Brandle just said, figure out where your boundaries are around this sort of thing. Because it seems like that they didn't have there's not a whole lot to go off of here, but.
You're going to hold me accountable or say that this is like, in your view, like a way of cheating or like financial, what's the word? Financial.
Fiscally irresponsible.
Like when you financially, like your habits and stuff like that, financially burden household or your partner.
Oh, yeah.
Like if it's one of those things, but like if there's a conversation at those boundaries and it was overstepped, then I could understand where she would be angry or like everybody was calling him like a piece of shit and stuff. But it's like if that conversation hasn't happened and those boundaries haven't been set, how are you to know kind of where that lays?
No, and I agree. I'm like, okay, so like this doesn't seem like a big deal. Like just talk to your girlfriend. Okay, cool. No, thanks, babe. Appreciate your insights here. Okay. Oh, is Rifted trying to come in now too? Yeah, okay. All right, awesome. Okay, love you, babe. All right, bye. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to open the door so Riften can come in, but we'll finish the conversation with them in here. So, one sec.
Sure.
Buddy, Riften. Yeah. Yeah, you guys. Okay. So, Dad and Uncle Brandle are going to have a conversation. Okay. Yeah, you can sit down with me. That's not a problem. So, okay, cool. Yeah, I think Maddie gave really great insight there. Thanks to my wife. That was my wife, everyone. So.
And I caught most of it. I don't know how it's going to go through the audio for you though, but It's definitely feels like somebody who's younger because he says he's 21 just by the way he talked about it, and he's all stressed and worried and freaking out about it like it's the end of the world, you know?
Yeah.
When
And like his parents just caught him doing porn.
Yeah, exactly. In the big picture that he's not missing here, but clearly wants to go to Reddit for people to talk about it, is for him to talk about it with her and to sit down and have this conversation.
Yeah, no, agreed. And I think, honestly, a majority of any relationship advice that happens on Reddit and a majority of stories is going to boil down to this. Talk. You guys need to have conversations.
Yeah, that's crazy how often people will go to each other before each other and that you're with the person you're with.
That, or they go to other people first, which I can kind of get sometimes, where it's like,
yes,
hey, I don't know how to approach my
that's
husband about this. Yeah. Like, how do I do this? And so for the most part, it's just like the way you approach it is you do it with compassion. Okay. You should be like, hey, so I saw this was happening. You know, I just want to know to what extent this is going on, or I want to try and understand where this is coming from, or why this is happening. And then, I want to be honest with you about how it kind of impacts me in the relationship and how I feel about it. And if we could, work together to come up with a boundary that feels fair to both of us, then great, And that solves 90% of problems in every relationship ever. I guarantee if you just do what I just said, 90% of your issues will be resolved.
I know. And obviously there's probably going to be people that comment and be like, well, it's easy to say that. It's like, yeah, it is. It's also
easy to try. Yeah.
Yes. There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. So, your emotions can definitely flare up. And if you're one of those people where you just cannot handle when your emotions flare up and you cannot control yourself, I do see hey, I need to take a quick cool down jog or something, whatever.
And let me come back to this.
Yeah. Pin in this. I'm going to go take a jog. I'm going to come back when I'm cooled down. My head's clear. I get that. But everything else, I'm kind of come on, guys. Let's you can it's just porn,
but in this case, is this guy the asshole though? Really?
I mean, this is our / advice, but I wouldn't say this guy is necessarily an asshole. I wouldn't say that this guy is cheating on her.
Yeah.
I'd say the guy obviously has some sexual fantasies that aren't being fulfilled, and he needs to have a conversation about that.
Okay, yeah. And he has desires that are elsewhere other than the girl he's with.
Yeah.
This is making me realize that we're down the line. We're probably going to have a tier system for am I the asshole or not, rather than just he is or isn't, or they are or not.
We honestly should. We should come up with a full, are we the asshole tier list of just maybe we break it down by different parts of the asshole. Okay, are you cusping on it? Are you full asshole? Are you the taint? Are you being a bit of a taint right now? Are you just more of a dick than an asshole?
Yeah, exactly.
I would put this guy firmly in taint.
Yeah, he's sitting right on it.
Yeah, just in the taint. You're
asshole.
not an asshole, just kind of stupid, like the taint is.
Yeah. a little sneaky, a little.
Yeah, a little bit goonery, a little bit of a gooner. So. You guys probably can hear my boys in the background. They have joined us. Luckily, the oldest one typically doesn't listen to me lately. So he's not repeating too many words I say. So we're good.
Actually, I haven't heard him this whole time, so I don't know if that's coming through on your end.
Yeah. Hey, babe. Yeah, both the boys came up here. Yeah, no, he.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he has kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah, no, they're good. Yeah, I'm good having them up here. It's not a problem.
Well,
Okay.
that's probably about a good time for us to wrap it up anyway. But,
Oh. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. Oh gosh. Yeah. No. Newborn baby. Sorry, we're recording still, but yeah. Yeah. No, I can edit this. So. Okay. Okay. Well, I love you, babe. Oh, she's gassy. I love you. All right. Yeah. No. Thanks everyone for listening to this episode of Are We the Assholes? Next week I should be feeling better. I hope. If not, it was Brayden's fault. We're gonna just blame Brayden whenever he's not here.
it's as we always do when we sign off.
Yes. All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.